Hi, are you a businessman or a businesswoman, an entrepreneur or someone who is seeking to come in for a business? I want to bring you out some visions in order to start a small business for stay-at-home moms, for students, for the unemployed. How could you start a small business of your own with little or no income? How can you start? There are some basic ideas you ought to know before starting a business. Let's just dive directly into some of these ideas. The first is define your vision. What is your vision? What is the vision of your business? You should well state the vision of your business, know your business, what your business is all about. You should also be able to sell that vision. You should be able to sell your visions to every person around you. And when you are selling your business, you should be able to set goals. Once you're able to set goals, you can be able to develop a strong vision for decision making. You can be able to analyze and make better decisions to come up with a small business. The second thing you ought to know is market research. How far do you do your research? Do you go to the market to do your research? Do you carry out feasibility studies? Because no business is being done without feasibility studies. You ought to know what is happening on the market. You need to go to the market by yourself. You do out some research. You make one-on-one encounter with customers in order to be able to identify who are your potential customers. Not only your potential customers, but to know your target audience. You ought to know your target audience. And once you have known your target audience, you should be able to also identify in that market your competitors, either your potential competitors or your existing competitors. Who are your competitors? Who are you competing against? It will help you balance and motivate yourself the more. Who do I compete? Who is my competitor? Don't go and start with multinationals in order to compete with them, but start with at least the little suppliers or businesses around you. Now, the third thing you need to know is developing a business plan. You ought to develop a business plan. When carrying out businesses, developing a business plan is very essential. Why is business plan essential? It helps you to analyze your target audience. Not only so, being able to manage your cash flow, your revenues, and your income. It makes you predetermine your cash flows, your revenues, and your income. So determine that business plan. How much will I invest? How much will I get from it? Weekly, how much do I expect as revenue coming out from this business weekly? How much do I expect from this business monthly? And how much do I spend on it? Those are two different things you should be able to know. And your business plans makes you to analyze all these things for you to better start up your small business. Before we go to the fourth point, please click on the subscribe button. If you're tuning in new to my channel, you're welcome. Please subscribe for more videos concerning finance sustainability. The fourth is financial management. How are you managing your finances? Which softwares do you use to manage your finances? Have you hired the services of an accountant? Do you use software like Excel, Sage software, Access? Which software are you using to manage your financial transactions? You should be able to analyze them in order to state. But for small businesses which are just starting, or advise them to go with Excel. Use Excel in order to start your business. Start with the Excel. You just input your revenues and your expenditures, manage your cash flows daily. The fifth is legal consideration. You might want to consider the legal considerations while opening a business. What does the state you live in considers when opening a business? What are their laid down procedures in opening a business? Because each countries have their own legal procedures in opening a business. You ought to identify at least with one. You should be able to know how to pay your taxes. Do not just do businesses for business' sake, but being able to pay your taxes. The fifth is build a support network. What is a support network? You surround yourself with strong people, people who are in the same business with you, people who ideas align with your own, people who are moving in the same direction with you, being investors, being banks, being friends and colleagues, being able to identify them and create a network. You should have a network of connections which will help grow your business even more. The last but not the least thing you ought to know while starting a small business is embrace technology. Technology is on the rise, it's very rampant, people are after it. Engage in technology in order to manage your online audience, to create wider your audience, wider your customers. Let your customer not only be at your geographical location, but it should be cross-border. So these are some tips you ought to know before starting a small business. If there is any question, please click into the comment section and place your question. Please subscribe to this video and more will be coming up. Thank you for